Hey, loves, it's your girl Mariah Sincere, and I am back with another bomb live. If you've been rocking with me, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I tell the truth over here. We keep it real. For those of y'all who don't know who I am, my name is Mariah Sincere, and I am a self-love coach who helps people to radically transform their lives. I also do political and social commentary. If you are interested in personal coaching, the link to my website is in the description box. You can book a session with me there by the hour. I've lost quite a bit of weight now. I was at like 220, down to 185 now, and steady losing. I decided I wanted to change my life. I came up with the plan, and in 6 months, I did. I'm actually traveling abroad. So I'm coming at y'all live from Peru. So if you are interested in being about that action and making personal changes in your life, hit me up at ThePassportSis.com. With that said, guys, California has been a problem. I'm going to say this. California has been a problem. And I normally would not care because honestly and truly, who cares if California goes to hell in a handbasket? It's a shame. It's a really, really beautiful state. That's the crazy thing. I mean, California should not be having people flee such a beautiful state with great weather to come to Texas where it's hot as Hades. Okay. California should not have to flee California to come to places like Texas and come to places like Florida and things of that nature. But unfortunately, because of the politics, because of the corruption, and because of the fact that Democrat policies simply just do not work, people are fleeing California by the droves. They're fleeing all these liberal cities, but California by far has been the worst. So I'm going to get right into it. We're going to go to RJ Talks channel because y'all know if Gavin Newsom is supposed to be running for president in 2028, which to that, I don't even know what to say. And the crazy thing is he's been such a terrible governor in California. His track record is horrible. If you consider what happened with the Palisades, with the Pacific Palisades, the wildfires, he just seems completely incompetent. But yet and still, I promise you, if it is Gavin Newsom against JD Vance, Democrats are going to come out in droves to still vote for Gavin Newsom. They're still going to vote for him, even though forget what he says. I'm not talking about what he says. There is a problem when you have your constituents fleeing your state to go to Republican run states. You have a problem. Okay, but Democrats will still go vote for him. Anyway, let's continue. So we're going to go to RJ Talks channel. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to look at this interview that one of the candidates for the governor's race, Katie Porter, we're going to look at this terrible interview. Y'all, she seems like a complete nut job. If you're just now coming in, please hit the like button. It helps people know that I am on live. Okay, so we're going to RJ Talks channel. It says California's next governor caught berating staffer.
Having a bad day this morning, a bad week, really, after another leaked video showing just how unstable, bizarre this lady really is behind closed doors. We have the clip. We'll show you also President Trump making history, not my words, instead the words of top Democrat leaders this morning, admitting Trump's peace deal with Israel and Hamas, remarkable. Historic, they say. Pretty amazing. And the president scoring another victory in Congress yesterday. We'll show you what happened.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. 600 Transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems, and the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp. Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to get done.
So the largest state.
Actually, I'm not mad at her about that. If you have kids, they will see you doing something and constantly you're trying to record something. She might have been trying to record that take over and over and over again. And this might have been her 11th time. And her daughter was like, bruh. And she was like, bruh, get out my face. So we're going to give her a pass on that because I've been through that before. As a parent, they always want to come at the most inconvenient time. Especially if you're somebody who like records things online. So I'm going to give her a pass for that. That's not the problem here, honestly and truly. And the daughter was big and grown. She should have known to be out the way. That's not what I'm talking about here.
In the country, California, almost 40 million people getting ready to vote for their next governor in November next year. The long reign of Gavin Newsom finally coming to an end next year, but who will be his replacement? Democrat Congresswoman Katie Porter, the current frontrunner, favored to win, even though she's a terrible candidate, a terrible politician. And after you watch these newly leaked videos, a lot of people saying a terrible human being. Yesterday, we played in full her train wreck interview with NBC where she loses her mind over being asked a couple follow-up questions.
What do you say to the 40% of California voters who you'll need in order to win, who voted for Trump?
How would I need them in order to win, man?
Well, unless you think you're going to get 60% of the vote. You think you'll get 60%. Everybody who did not vote for Trump will vote for you. That's what you're saying.
In a general election, yes. If it is me versus a Republican, I think that I will win the people who did not vote for Trump.
What if it's you versus another Democrat?
I don't intend that to be the case.
So,
you know what? This is a problem with a lot of Democrats. Talk about, hey, what's up, crumble coated cutie? It's good to see you. I actually don't like it when people take their voter base for granted. And let's be clear, I'm going to look it up as soon as I start playing the video again. A lot of California went red. And if it wasn't for the gerrymandering that they do in California, it's quite possible that Donald Trump could have, I'm not going to say he would have won the state, but it's quite possible that a Republican in general would actually be a contender in these races. So let's be clear. California, a lot of Californians flipped this last election. Her dismissing them as if they're not going to be a part of her constituency. How would I need to? I don't think I need them. Like, this is the mentality that Democrats have. Y'all remember when Hillary Clinton characterized all of Donald Trump supporters as a bag of deplorables, and then she proceeded to lose the election badly? Yeah, this is the mentality that they have. It is this elitist mindset. They feel like everything is a given just off of the fact that I'm a Democrat, that I'm entitled to the position, that people are going to just come vote for me because I said that they should. So she feels like she shouldn't, and y'all are going to see, she feels like she shouldn't ask any questions. She feels like people shouldn't hold her feet to the fire. And it's like, man, we don't even really know you like that. And the people don't know you. So like, you haven't earned, as cocky as she's going to behave in this interview and as indignant as she's going to act over being asked questions, it is absolutely ridiculous because, ma'am, you really just got here to the vast majority of Californians. They don't know you like that, boo. Not only do Californians not know you like that, but let's be clear. If you're running for the governor of California, people are also going to see you on a national stage. You're going to be visible. This is like one of the most important states in the union. So for her to believe that she should not have to answer questions, is ridiculous. Ma'am, you first of all, you need to earn your spot. But she feels like she doesn't have to. Glad I left the left. Me too. And every day they make me more and more sure of that.
How do you not intend that to be the case? Are you going to ask them not to run?
No, I'm saying I'm going to build the support. I have the support already in terms of name recognition. And so I'm going to do the very best I can to make sure that we get through this primary in a really strong position. But let me be clear with you. I represented Orange County. I represented a purple area. I have stood on my own 2 feet and won Republican votes before. That's not something every candidate in this race can say. If you're from a deep blue area, if you're from LA or you're from Oakland, you don't have an experience.
But you just said you don't need those Trump voters.
Well, you asked me if I needed them to win.
So you don't
I
think
feel
you
like
need
this
them
is
to win.
unnecessarily argumentative. What is your question?
The question is the same thing I asked everybody, that this is being called the empowering voters to stop Trump's power grab. Every other candidate has answered this question. This is not
Correct. And I
argumentative.
said I support it.
So, and the question is, what do you say to the 40% of voters who voted for Trump?
This is the point that the interviewer is trying to make, and it's not registering to her. So if your campaign slogan is empowering others to stop Trump's power grab, yet you're going to be accountable to like 40% of the state that voted for Donald Trump, what the reporter is trying to get across is that is a terrible slogan. Because at the end of the day, a large enough amount of Californians voted for Donald Trump for you to be concerned about it. So you having a slogan that is anti-Trump and not necessarily about that's inspirational, like her whole slogan is based on Trump derangement syndrome, right? That already, like if I'm a Trump supporter and I see that slogan, I'm not voting for you. If I'm independent and I see that slogan, I'm not voting for you, because what that's telling me is you're not bringing anything to the table. You plan to play on Trump derangement syndrome the entire election. So that is why this reporter asked her that question, and she's acting indignant about it, but it's valid. It seems as if she's making no effort to bridge the gap between Democrat voters and those Republicans who went out for Trump. Again, and the interviewer has every right to say, well, you just said I don't need them. And that is her genuine feelings. Those are her genuine attitudes. She feels like she doesn't need those voters. But like, my whole thing is, if that's how you feel, stand on it. Don't run from the questions. Don't try to backtrack and don't try to backpedal. Stand on that. Say, well, I feel like I don't need them. Don't get mad at the interviewer because she's holding you to the fire for your slogan and what you said.
Oh, I'm happy to say that. It's the do you need them to win part that I don't understand. I'm happy to answer the question as you have it written, and I'll answer it.
And we've also asked the other candidates, do you think you need any of those 40% of California voters to win? And you're saying, no, you don't.
No, I'm saying I'm going to try to win every vote I can. And
Ma'am, now you're saying that, but you did say you don't need them to win. So what is the problem here? These type of women, I'm sorry, this is going to sound so mean, what I'm about to say. And I certainly struggled with my weight. As y'all know, I've lost a lot of weight recently. But like this, you can look at, this is a type of woman. And if you've ever been any type of attractive and you've worked for this type of woman, you know this is like an evil, narcissistic, hater human being. I can just read it on people. I don't have to know her. I don't have to know her background. But like if I went into a job interview and I'm sitting across a woman that looks like this, I'm getting up and walking out. Because even if I get the job, this is the type of woman that is going to literally put you through hell every time she's feeling insecure and she wants somebody to take it out on. I can already tell. Okay. This is a person who she looks like she lacks accountability. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be mean. It just is what it is. These be the worst type of women.
What I'm saying to you is that
Well, to those voters, okay, so you,
I don't want to keep doing this. I'm going to call it. Thank you.
you're not gonna do the interview with us?
Nope, not like this. I'm not. Not with 7 follow-ups to every single question you ask.
Every other candidate has answered
I don't
our
care.
follow-ups.
I don't care. I want to have a pleasant, positive conversation in which you ask me about every issue on this list. And if every question you're going to make up a follow-up question, then we're never going to get there.
Ms.
And we're
Porter,
just going to circle around.
I am an investigative
I have never had to do this
reporter.
before, ever.
You've never had.
What do you mean you've never had to do this before? You've never had to be accountable? You've never had to explain yourself? You've never had to win people over? Because, ma'am, you're not there yet. I know you think you have it in the bag. You're not there yet. You think you just have a slam dunk? That's a problem. Every Californian needs to look at this interview and feel the way I felt when I heard Joe Biden on the phone saying that if you don't vote for me, you're not Black. Sir, I'm sorry. Come again? Oh, you think that because you're a Democrat and Black people have been voting Democrat since like the 60s that I owe you my vote, or else you're going to question my heritage? Who made you the authority? This is the same energy that's giving. And like, even if I was still a diehard Democrat, I would be completely turned off by this woman. Oh, ma'am, not you. Not you. Get somebody else to do it, because it can't be you. And, you know, one thing I love about J.D. Vance is, and even Donald Trump, if they feel like an interviewer is asking them a stupid question, they will say that's a stupid question in their face, and they're not going to leave the interview. They will follow up with an answer. They will follow up with an answer, and by the time they're done explaining themselves, everybody's going to understand why the interviewer's question was stupid, right? They don't run away from the question. I'll answer your question, and by the time I'm done answering your question, you're going to look ridiculous. But honestly and truly, this was a valid question. She is very arrogant and is trying to belittle the reporter. Yeah, the reporter handled her with kid gloves. Like, this isn't even a hard question. Matter of fact, every election, I see this question get asked to every candidate. How are you going to win over people from the other side? And the reporter saying that you're not the first person I asked this question to, and you expect me to ask you a question and not follow up with that. You want me to just answer a question, you give your narrative, and me not give any type of pushback. Ma'am, how are you going to handle the press? How are you going to handle questions from the American people? She already feels like she doesn't have to be accountable. No, ma'am. You have not earned any of that. Dems need to run on something other than hating Trump. Exactly. And that's what she's running on, hating Trump. You're running on hating Trump. You have a large part of your constituency that voted for Trump. It doesn't matter if you feel like you're a Democrat and you have it in the bag, because let's be clear, you might have to run up against another Democrat. And her saying, well, I don't intend to run up against another one, that makes me be like, well, do you know something that we don't know? That's another issue I'm having here, because I have PTSD from when I used to be a Democrat and all of the primary rigging that I know. They like to accuse Republicans of voter suppression, but honestly, the Democrats, they are the face of voter suppression, honestly and truly. And I've gone through that in depth on my channel. I brought up plenty of evidence, all of that, but that is the party of voter suppression. So anytime I hear a Democrat talking like this, especially in a state like California, I'm like, ma'am, what do you know that we don't know? Why are you so sure? Why do you feel like you don't have to work for your spot? Do you have it in the bag? Because that's what she's talking like. She's talking like either way it goes, she's going to be in that office. So now my eyebrows are raised.
Have a
end an
conversation
interview.
with
To end
a
an
reporter.
interview.
Okay, but every other candidate has done this.
What part of I'm me? I'm running for governor because I'm a leader.
The most remarkable part of that video is how she's so sure she doesn't need independent votes. Why is that? It shows how skewed, how broken California politics.
It was the I'm me part for me. It was the I'm me, ma'am. Who are you, ma'am? Who do you think you are? It's the delusion for me. But then again, it might just be that she's her and she knows something about the upcoming election that we don't know. Because I said this before and I say this again, the Democrat Party like to appoint candidates. Yes, Mariah, I had TDS as well. Girl, me too. I had, well, I'm not going to say I had TDS. I'm not going to say that. Because to be honest, y'all put a 1 in the chat if you can hear me well, because I think my signal is going out. I'm not going to say I had TDS. I remember during the election time, like the first time he got elected, I didn't think he was going to win. As soon as he got the Republican nomination, I didn't even worry about the election. I was more concerned about what happened with Bernie Sanders, right? And then I didn't go vote for Hillary in the general election, but I at least thought she was going to be a better candidate than Trump and win over Trump. And when she didn't win, I remember I was upset. I even went to like a campus protest about it. But like after that, I didn't care anymore. And I don't know how to explain it. I think I'm a very like, if my material world is good, I'm not going to focus on the negative. I'm not like, so when Donald Trump won and nothing changed, I didn't get put back into slavery. My civil rights weren't violated. I mean, things pretty much stayed normal. The economy was good. I stopped talking about him. I did not care. I wasn't upset about every little thing that he did. I think I was actually more upset about how the Democrats handled Bernie Sanders. And then when 2020, by the time 2020 came around, nothing bad happened. The economy was in a good place. I was making good money. And Bernie Sanders ran again, and then Elizabeth Warren, and we all know what happened during that. And then after that primary, I just emotionally checked out. But I do remember during the 2020 election, out of spite, I was like, I hope Donald Trump beats Joe Biden. Out of spite, it was like one of those things. But I've never been Trump deranged to where I was worried about every little thing he did, and every little thing he did bothered me. Same thing with Joe Biden. Even though I thought the Joe Biden administration was sending the United States to hell in a handbasket, I still wasn't hyper focused on every little thing Joe Biden did. When there was something that happened that I agreed with, I was like, okay, at least he did that correct. But I wasn't outraged, upset, and mad, even though I felt like the country was going downhill. I just wasn't super emotional about it. Okay, thank you. Okay, let's continue.
Really are. I played that in full in yesterday's broadcast, the full interview, in case you didn't see it and you want to. Well, today, another video, this time campaign footage recorded inside what appears to be Katie Porter's kitchen, where she's seen berating a member of her staff. Watch this.
You ready for stat number 2?
I am.
All right. $632. $632, which is how much you save in fuel and maintenance costs when you replace your traditional car with an EV, with an electric vehicle. So I lease a Chevy Bolt. It is the best car that I have ever owned. I just plug it into the garage, 3-hole prong plug, and I never have to go to the gas station.
Okay, so they're talking about electric vehicles. I wish California would quite literally get off the gas when it comes to that. Stop trying to make fetch happen. Like the United States doesn't even have the infrastructure to support everybody having electric vehicles. But that's a conversation for another day. But I just wanted to point out how these Democrats, the things that they talk about are just they don't make any sense. But let's continue.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles, it's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Okay, I'm going to start again with electric vehicles saving us money.
Perfect.
Okay.
The fuse on this lady is short, folks.
I mean, if she'll talk to a staffer like that live on camera, I didn't realize that was a staffer. I thought maybe that was her teenage daughter or something because she felt too comfortable talking to another grown adult like that. That I'm flabbergasted. And then not only that, this is what you'll say in front of another person that's on the other side of the screen. I can only imagine what happens behind the camera. Furthermore, it couldn't have been me. I couldn't have been that staffer. I would have cussed her out smooth while she's on camera. There was a better way to handle this. Oh, this is my amazing staffer, such and such. She helps me with this, and there was a way to handle it. It actually really wasn't that serious. If you watch me for a while, my daughter walks in on me when I'm on camera sometimes, and I just kind of introduce her, and she goes on about her business. So you are expecting to run an entire state, and you have absolutely no situational awareness or emotional control. You're exploding on live camera. You're doing that already. Imagine how you're going to behave when you're under the immense pressure of having to run a state. Also, I can also see that being a situation where she's going to be losing a lot of staffers, high turnover, because what grown adult wants to deal with that? It's going to be kind of like the same situation with Kamala Harris or Jasmine Crockett, where people are like, this is a narcissist, they're hard to work with, they're hard to deal with. Now, I didn't even watch the video to see that part. Didn't I just tell y'all at the beginning of this video that I can look at her and tell she's a terror to work with? Just by looking at her, I can tell. I promise y'all, if I went into an interview with a woman that looked like her, this is not about traditional beauty standards or being a beauty queen. This is about me being experienced enough in the workforce as a, I'm okay looking, woman, and seeing and experiencing how those type of women behave when they're feeling insecure, when they're upset, and you walk into the building dressed cute that day. They're taking all their life's problems out on you. Okay, I can already tell.
She's a mean person, an angry, angry person. And right now, she's leading the ticket. If you live in California, do you want that woman running your state? I sure as hell wouldn't. Hopefully, Democrats get some sense and nominate a better candidate.
The problem is the people that would be voting for her behave like her. I said this before and I've said this again. Make a Democrat woman upset. Like, all you have to do is have a conversation and say something that she doesn't agree with, and like the program starts malfunctioning in their heads. Like, all you have to do is make a point that they can't argue with, and they start with the ad hominem attacks. They will insult you. They will threaten you. They will try to fight you. They will attack your character. They can never stay on topic. So this is the way that they behave, and they think it's absolutely okay. So no, I'm pretty sure a lot of them are going to see that and not think it's a problem. Or they're going to feel like it's worth it to have this type of individual in office if that means if she can help us thwart Donald Trump's plan. That's it. That's the entire mission. Thwart Donald Trump, resist Donald Trump. They don't actually have a platform.
In another story, President Trump's peace plan to end the Israel-Hamas war.
Okay, guys, I don't want to get into that story. And honestly, I have to cook and clean my house. I just wanted to come on here real quick and discuss that with you. Y'all tell me what y'all think. I think the Democrats have not learned from any of their mistakes. It's clear to me that they are hell-bent on continuing to bleed support. They are hell-bent on supporting these policies that make absolutely no sense, but in fact makes the lives of everyday Americans unsafe and unaffordable. She's hell-bent on bleeding support from California because that's what's eventually going to happen. When all of these like Republicans that voted for Donald Trump or these independents see that there's absolutely no hope of turning that ship around, a lot of them are going to leave and they are going to go to red states or southern states where, yeah, it might not be as beautiful as California, but at least they have an opportunity to get ahead in life, or at least it's safer. I mean, for God's sakes, the homelessness in California is ridiculous. Their soft on crime policies make it completely unsafe, right? I would not, I'm telling you now, I don't care how beautiful another part of the United States is. If I were to come back, because y'all know I'm abroad right now, I'm in Peru. Next month, I'll be in Ecuador. If I come back to the United States, I'm going right back to Texas. I don't care that the summer is hot. Going right back to Texas, or I'm going to Florida. That's it. That's all. I'm going to Miami or something like that. I would never live in a Democrat-run state. Absolutely not. What's up, Jamal? Good to see you, brother. You coming in late. I'm about to get off of here. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. And again, the only reason why I think it's important to pay attention to California, I honestly would not care, but it's affecting everybody else. It's affecting everybody else when their policies are so bad that people are literally fleeing their states like refugees. I mean, think about it like this. In Dallas, I'm from Dallas, born and raised. When I first graduated high school, I got my very first apartment while I was going to community college. Before I went to university, I got my very first apartment. It was a 1-bedroom apartment in a decent area of town. It was very spacious, and I was paying $500 a month. I was paying $500 a month for an apartment. Now that same apartment, which is very old, probably runs about $1,500 a month. And a lot of this has to do with the fact that people were fleeing places like LA and Chicago to come to Texas. And no, I definitely don't have that feeling of like, you need to go back to where you're from. But what I do want to see is that they fix those policies so people feel like they can stay. The ones that are already there, welcome. But I would like them to fix those policies because it does affect everybody else, right? You used to be able to buy a 4-bedroom house in Texas with a big backyard and a patio for like $100,000 or $150,000. Now that same house is going to go for at least $400,000. Sorry, she seems like a real biatch. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yay, Texas. Yeah, I love Texas. It looks like my signal is messing up. Okay, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get off of here. I will come back on here tomorrow for like 30 minutes to an hour. Y'all have a good night. See you. Goodbye.